Hello?
Hey Spencer, how you doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself, man?
Not too bad at all. Sorry in advance about my mic. It's terrible, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching some of your YouTube videos and everything, and I'm like, well, one thing this guy really needs to do is get a better microphone.
Yeah, I actually ordered a new SteelSeries mic, and I got it like 3-day delivered. I was like, you know what, $5 is worth it to have one less cast with the worst sounding S I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm fixing it. It was actually to replace a mic where I lost the earpiece, and like my
Okay.
ear would be raw after 4 hours of streaming, so I had to replace that one.
Uh,
But
I'm uh, I'm using a Audio Technica AT2020. It's like a USB. As professional as a USB microphone can get. So if you have like the money to shell on it, that's what I'd recommend you end up picking up.
I will definitely look into that eventually. This one I got was for $90, but it
Okay.
was perfect reviews on Newegg and its SteelSeries, which I don't think SteelSeries makes a single bad product.
Cool.
Yeah, well,
So
tied me over. So yeah,
I was just kind of curious. Where do you live exactly?
Northeast Ohio, between Canton and
Okay.
Akron,
Okay.
a little place
Well,
called Uniontown.
I don't know much about American geography. I live in British Columbia.
Yeah, you're a ways out there, so yeah,
Mhm.
you probably basically all you need to know is there's absolutely nothing here.
Awesome.
And like we were saying in email, this has been a dry county up until 2009, so we don't even get those cool beer festivals you guys get.
You don't get a festival of ale there.
No, we
Wow,
don't get a festival of ale.
that's depressing.
It is, and it's like you would think with how there's nothing to do here, people would probably have a festival of ale, but no such luck.
Oh, what a shame.
Okay,
So yeah, well, you said you work. What is your profession?
I actually work
Besides
for a
StarCraft coaching.
yeah, I work for a software company these days. Back
Oh,
in
cool.
2010, I did play and coach for a living, but the
How
stability wasn't really there.
how much would you pull in doing like StarCraft? I mean, on a professional level.
Um, Without getting too specific, in
I mean,
yeah,
you don't have to like tell
from when
me
I
you're fucking.
from when I started, let's put it this way: for my first year, when I finally did my taxes, it was over 25,000. So it's
Oh, that's
better
not
than a
bad.
minimum wage job, but it's not necessarily what I would call something you would support a family on.
Yeah, it's true.
Um, but yeah, it tapered off in 2000, late 2011, because my play started to really suck. I had some distractions going on in life, and I realized I needed something more stable. So here I am.
See.
But yeah, now I work for a software company, and it was actually kind of cool because what I learned from coaching and YouTube casting ended up really transferable.
Hmm.
Because now I do training for residency management software for hospitals,
Hmm.
and I mean we do pretty much everything this, all the same things that I did previously, like how-to guides and videos. Well, actually, the documentation team does videos, but I'm hoping to help out with that once in a while. And then, like, tons of public speaking. Like, we have a conference coming up in 2 weeks where it'll be an auditorium setting, and I'll be presenting there. So
Cool.
it's kind of funny because when they hired me on, they actually watched my YouTube videos to check my credentials, basically.
This
Because
guy
it was
plays
on there.
StarCraft. Obviously hired. 100%.
Apparently, it went well because they were watching them and they liked what they saw with my public speaking. So there I am.
Cool.
So,
Hmm.
okay, actually, for anyone watching on YouTube, this is going to be a series we're doing.
Oh, I'm not recording anything yet. Just so
Okay,
you
well,
know. I'll
yeah.
tell you when we're recording.
Oh no, I'm putting mine on YouTube. So just so you know, I'm actually already
Oh, you're
basically
already recording.
anything I do these days is streamed through Twitch,
Twitch.
which
Okay.
then I clip up and upload. So yeah, I guess I should have prefaced. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much always recording.
Okay.
So when in doubt, I am recording. So yeah, for anyone on YouTube, I am going to be actually doing a stream here or a series here with Stalinator, and I will put his YouTube in the details for this first video and any following videos, so that you guys can watch his progress. Because we're going to do a little thing where I kind of help him get along, and we're going to see how quickly we can maybe even get him to masters. So he's starting at
I'm
gold
hoping to be in master. That's my goal. Masters in 1 month.
in 1 month. That is
And one-
aggressive.
Well, okay, we'll see. We'll see. right now I work as a marketing consultant,
Hmm.
and it's on a contract basis.
Hmm.
And my contract is finishing up at the end of April, so I got some time. I'm
Hmm.
like, I want to play. I want to get really good at this game. That is my goal.
Hey, if you wanna go crazy with it, then that's fine. I was thinking we could pace it at one or two a week, but if you're wanting masters in a month, we might need to ramp that up a bit.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll play it by ear.
yeah, definitely. Okay, so well that answers my first question, which was what kind of time frame were you shooting for? But the next is how many games per day? We'll call it since you're going to go aggressive with this. How many games a day do you think you can hammer out?
Right now, I've been doing 5 a day, which is probably not optimal.
Hmm.
And it's just been a busy last couple days, mainly with I've been doing. I'm part of an election campaign here in British Columbia, and we had a fundraiser the other day, and I was doing some campaigning yesterday at the Festival of Ale for a candidate, and today is like party time all day, with like a minor break, obviously, in between to play StarCraft. But usually I try to do 5 a day, and I'd like to ramp it up to however many. Like how many during a day would you suggest that I do?
Well, the bare minimum. Side note: anywhere where you can campaign and get drunk at the same time has to be cool. So I'm jealous.
It was a lot of fun actually yesterday.
Okay, so minimum. I kind of as a prerequisite, I say if you can't play two ladder games a day, you're probably not going to get too much out of the coaching. So you're already
Okay.
meeting that break point. That's good.
Okay.
5 a day is phenomenal. I wouldn't say even from an MMR perspective that's going to put you in masters in a month though.
Okay.
I mean, if for some reason you just randomly turned into a Masters level player tomorrow, then sure, 5 a day would get you to Masters. But there's going to be this is actually going to be a fairly long process because we want this to be lasting changes. So we're not going to
Yeah.
throw all sorts of huge concepts at you today. It's going to be a few little things every lesson, and we want to make sure those stick.
Cool. Okay. Sounds good to me.
So, in a perfect world, I would say if you can knock out 10 ladder games a day, that's going to be great.
All right.
If you
Now,
can't, though, I mean, anywhere from 5 to 10 is fine.
okay. How many did you play like a day usually? Like how wait when you were really into it? Like what was your?
Um,
Uh,
Kind of limited by my hands cramping up, to be honest. And now that I
Big-
actually have health insurance, I will be looking into that the more I play because I'm sure I can get a doc to help me out with that. But
well, I'm lucky. I'm Canadian. I don't need to worry about that kind of stuff.
oh, I see. Canadians are just bred better.
No, no, we have we don't worry about health
Oh,
insurance.
oh,
It's
health
like
insurance. I
it's
got you.
taken care of by public you know
Yeah. Okay.
funds.
I thought you meant Canadians' hands don't cramp up. I was going to say, man, you guys.
Really? Oh, maybe I don't know. That would be
um,
quite a genetic trait to
that would be
have.
phenomenal. Canadians would be able to go up against the Koreans, no problem. So I would say, yeah, when I was really competitive with it, I would say 30 games, ladder games a day minimum. These days, on the weekends, I will still go ahead and run wild when I get the mood. I'll actually just a month or so ago, I had 47 ladder games in a day. So it still can happen.
Wow.
I find that week, those 5 days during the work week, really help me to kind of recuperate and get that back. I don't think I could do 47 ladder games a day, 7 days a week, though.
Cool.
So, yeah, as a standard, though, I think 10 ladder games a day is reasonable for even a grandmaster level player. So if you're able to do that, I think the sky's the limit.
Great. Okay. Well, I mean that's what an hour or two a day. That's pretty doable.
Well, it depends on what style of play you're going for. I would say 10
Oh,
ladder games, if you're going for a healthy macro style, you're going to need 3 hours to play those right in a stable fashion.
yeah. I generally go or try and go macro games, except for Zerg versus Zerg, which are the most boring matchups on the planet, in my opinion. So I always just like rush or do like spine crawler, like what is it like the spine crawler rush where you like build spine crawlers on this creep or that type of stuff because I just don't want to play them. It's
So,
like I just
so your standard opening is 6 pool, and then if you have to macro, you'll play a 45-minute game?
something like that, pretty
Yeah.
much.
That sounds good.
More 10 pool, not a 6 pool, but
Ah, okay. Well, we aren't going to touch on ZVZ for probably 3 or 4 lessons. The reason for
okay,
that is because the things we're going to work on uh, in every lesson for a while is going to impact your ZVZ in a good way, just by association. So we won't even worry about that for a while.
all right, sounds good.
Okay, so for this first lesson,
So
Uh,
wait, what is going to be like? What's the itinerary?
well, that's part of what we're going to gauge today. I always
Okay.
use the first hour. Now we might go a little longer than an hour since kind of there's going to be a lot of kind of chatter as to where we want to go long term with this.
Okay.
But I always use the first hour to gauge a few things. First off, how well do we work together? If we're going to be sick of each other after an hour, then we don't want to do 2 hour lessons.
Okay.
I don't think that'll be a problem. The other thing is
Yeah.
maybe how committed are you? Are you able to hammer out the games? And since you are, I think we could probably pull off 3 a week. But we'll have to wait and see how this one goes. We may even
Okay.
be able to ramp that up quite a bit higher since you've got an aggressive goal.
Okay. Um, just so you know, today I've got until 12, which is 3 your time,
Okay.
'cause I've got a lunch appointment.
Yeah.
Just putting that out. I don't know how long these lessons are going to be usually, but I got about an hour and 45 minutes right now.
Okay. Yeah. As a standard, I plan on an hour. So I was planning on 2 p.m. my time, which um, would let's see, you're 2 hours behind me, I believe. So
3.
three. You are 3 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be 11 your time. But we can go a little later. I'm not worried about that at all.
Sure.
So
Okay. Well,
okay.
that sounds good. In that case, I'm going to start doing my own recording.
Sounds good.
But one, I'm just going to do a test run here. Can you speak just so I know what the audio levels are like?
Sure.
Okay.
Talking, swarm host, lots of S sounds.
Okay. Good enough. All right. Let me just check that. Hopefully that'll be good. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna have a troll cast here coming up if people can stand it, where I try to say as many S sounds as possible before I replace this mic, because it's been universally like I finally got around to checking my Twitch and YouTube messages because for the Twitch at least I didn't even notice them, and it was just like every other message was like, dude, replace your mic, I can't watch. It's
okay.
horrible.
I think I might need to just increase your volume a little bit.
Okay,
Uh, or is it already at maximum on my computer? Oh well, it's at, or is it? No, it's not
see what
even.
I can do for my volume out.
There we go.
No,
Pump
you're
it up
good.
a little bit. There we
Okay.
go. Good. Okay. That should be good. Hopefully.
All right. So do you need another
Okay.
test run, or are you all set?
Yeah. Let's do one more test run.
Okay. So we're
Okay.
going to be doing lots of zerglings and roaches and hydras and no swarm hosts today.
Is that what we're doing?
No, I was just saying stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, how do you pronounce your StarCraft name?
Rickaton.
Rakatan.
Although I find it kind of fun to let people kind of guess. Some people will say Rickatan.
Yeah.
Some will say Ricky Tan because they've been watching too much. What was that Chris Rock movie with a character
Okay.
named Ricky Tan?
Nice. So Rakatan.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the audio levels sound pretty good.
Awesome.
I'm gonna start my recording. 3, 2, 1. Здравствуйте, товарищи, and I'm very proud to introduce to you guys a new series that I'm going to try and do, and that is me going from a okay gold level player in StarCraft, Heart of the Swarm, obviously, to a Masters. My goal is to do it within 1 month, and to help me out here, I've recruited someone who I'm, very proud to introduce to you guys. I'm, excited to be working with this guy. I've been watching his YouTube stuff for a little while, and he's his name is Rekatan, and you're one of like the top, what was it, 75 Zerg players in North America.
Oh, yeah, from my website. That was a while back. These days,
Okay.
when my bonus pool is spent, I'm probably in the top 50. Should be Grandmaster next season. This season, I didn't lock it down, even though I was at 66% win rate. So I'm kind of angry
Okay.
about that. But
I thought you were in Grandmaster.
I was in the Heart of the Swarm beta, which was really funny because that was when we had a bunch of Koreans in the MMR.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, they decided to troll me on the NA ladder for some reason. So, like 100 games played at 66% win rate didn't get me in.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's good. Long story short, he's good. I've seen his play. It's, I mean, I saw that one game where you were facing Huck and you almost beat him. I'm like, that's heartbreaking. Like you had it. I was
I
like,
know.
oh, you had it.
I
And
walked into those storms and I just like my heart sank through the floor. It was like I just lost a GSL because I'm just like, did I seriously almost beat Huck?
you were it was so close. It was heartbreaking. But anyway, so super cool guy. How about you spend some time to plug where people can find you, and what kind of other stuff you might do besides YouTubing and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So you can find my YouTube channel at YouTube/Raycaton, and there will probably be links in the YouTube video that you're watching, so you'll be able to see it there. Also, I stream at twitch.tv/Raycaton, and then you can follow me at RexStarcraft. As to what I do, I'm a part-time StarCraft player. I still would like to go pro, but as long as I can continue helping people up their game and continue making some fun videos, that's really all I want. Work full time for software development company, and other than that, that's pretty much all the time I've got in my life. I did once upon a time play full time and coach full time for a living, but these days I actually play a lot better part time. So I think that says something. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, hopefully this is going to be a recurring segment, and by me learning something through these sessions, I hope that you, the viewer, will also learn a thing or two, and we can all grow and learn and experience new things together. That is my hope. But we'll see how things go. Anyway, let's get this ball rolling here, and tell me Grandmaster, what the hell do I need to do first?
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, and this is going to... Oh, actually, let me change my audio level because my game volume is way too loud.
Okay.
Okay, the first thing we're going to do, and this is going to hurt, but go ahead and go to your options menu. So we're going to go to F10 and options. And then we're going to go to hotkeys.
Hold on. I've lost my... There it is. All right. Options, hotkeys. Here we go.
You're going to go to global. Can't wait to hear your reaction here. Go ahead and open up unit management.
Unit management.
Okay. See select army units?
Where is that? There it is. Select army units.
And,
yeah, F2.
Yeah, and go ahead and unbind that hotkey.
Okay, you want me... Okay. Make sure it doesn't exist anymore.
Yep, you're going to click the X and then go ahead and click OK to save.
All right, wow.
I know. So when I was watching your replays, the one thing that stuck is I was like, wait, he's not control grouping his units. What is this? And as a Wings of Liberty player, it was just like boggling my mind because I have never once used that F2 key.
Yeah, well, I mean, I played Wings of Liberty as well, and then when I played the campaign, I'm like, oh, we've got to buy like a select whole army key. I'm like, that's awesome. That's great. And that's what I used.
So here's the thing. Blizzard, they're trying to make the game more approachable, but they did all players a huge disservice by adding that because it's such a big crutch.
Okay.
So we removed that because you're going to quit cold turkey today.
Oh, okay. So be back like in Wings of Liberty.
Yeah, and so if you accidentally press F2, well, you're going to get instant feedback because your units aren't selected. So for the first couple games, we're going to go ahead and just get in the habit of, again, you probably did this back in Wings, just putting everything on one control group.
Yes. Sometimes. I would have, like, infestors and stuff on another control group, the casting type of units.
Okay, so you have done that before. That's good. I was concerned that maybe you came on and started playing regularly with Heart of the Swarm and you've never actually worked with control groups, and that would have been really spooky. But this is a little better, so that's fine. You can go up to 2 control groups, but the one thing is we're going to actually shrink down your unit pool a bit today.
Okay.
So here's the units you're going to be allowed to use in all 3 matchups, and this is just going to be until our next lesson, and then we're going to gradually start adding units.
All right, sounds good.
So you can use Zerglings, Banelings, Roaches, Hydras, Mutas, and Corruptors.
And so no, like, casting units, no more finicky units like the Swarm Host or anything like that.
Right.
Just basic Zerg army.
And no tier 3 whatsoever. When you go tier 3, you're going to that stage for upgrades exclusively.
Okay.
And this is going to do something to your play that I think is really important at gold level, because you're at that kind of precipice where you understand macro, but you don't necessarily always execute it. It's not consistent. And the commonality with all those units I just mentioned is they all require you to have a macro advantage to secure the game.
Okay.
So down the road, we're going to kind of earn the right to go macro or go micro oriented. But the consistent thing I saw is when you made infestors, you would have like 16 of them versus 10, and only 3 of them were getting their energy used.
Okay.
And because of that F2, a lot of them were just moving into the opponent's army. So this really is going to kind of throw you for a loop, but I think it's going to really pay off. Now, I'd like to start by actually, um, let's play one game, and then we're going to do resume from replay from that point forward.
Okay, against you?
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
I will be your opponent, but here's the thing: is the way I've always coached is I play as the opponent, but I try to kind of tone back the play. Um, as a general rule of thumb, if you win, I probably did something wrong. I didn't gauge the game well enough. My goal is to play at just a little bit above your level. So I'm going to be shooting for a mid platinum, maybe low diamond level, and that's going to force you up. When you go on the ladder, it's going to be easier because you have been playing at a higher level.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get the game going, and then we'll see what we see from there. But this first game is just to kind of gauge how things have changed just from those limitations I gave you.
So yeah, just trying to make sure. Just no tier 3 units, no caster units, basic Zerg army type of deal.
And then no swarm host as well.
Question. What is your best queen selection injection method?
I use all queens on 5 throughout the course of the entire game, and I alternate between just scrolling around with a really high mouse scroll speed and backspace injection.
Okay. I changed that hotkey to my... I've got like a bunch of buttons on my mouse. It's like mouse button 4 or something. So I'm going to see how that works.
Excellent. Yeah. And I actually have a backspace injection guide on my YouTube for anyone who's interested. It kind of walks through how you can bind that, although they did actually now allow you to bind the keys in the game itself. Once upon a time you had to bind it on your mouse, though. So that was kind of annoying. Okay, so is Daybreak fine? I don't know what your veto list looks like.
Oh, I don't have any maps vetoed.
Excellent, that'll work great. Okay, so we'll start with Daybreak. That seems to be a really good map to kind of represent. Kind of give a standard representation of the rest of the maps. Okay. So,
Turn.
yeah, don't want to work on TVT for now.
Yeah.
Alright, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Great. Now, how are you with talking and playing at the same time? I know you did the,
I did the campaign
Let's
just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So if it gets to be too much, let me know and we can focus on the micro, but, I tend to yak a lot while we're playing. If I notice anything, I'll point it out as we go.
Alright, sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm obviously pretty used to playing and talking, but not necessarily playing like really focusing a lot of like cognitive resources to a game and talking at the same time.
Yeah, and that's part of it that might change, because you already, as a standard, you hover around 150 to 200 APM, so I think you have the resources, so to speak, to be able to play at a master's level. That's really all you need to play at a master's level. It's just a matter of putting those actions in the right places now.
So, is it just me, or did they like grotesquely like bump up the APM algorithm for Heart of the Swarm? Because I remember in Wings of Liberty I was getting like 100 APM, and now it says I've got like 200 APM or something like that, like every game.
Yeah. For a while there, they locked down APM to only show effective actions.
Okay.
So go ahead and whenever you watch a replay, if you want to see what it used to look like, check the effective actions per minute tab rather than the actions per minute.
Okay.
And you'll see, especially for a lot of spammers, you'll see it shrink down to like 60 when they were previously rocking 250.
Good.
But technically, the Brood War APM is what you're seeing today. So by that standard, they kind of decided to bump it back to where it was, including spamming actions and control grouping and things like that. Now we're going to revisit your build order down the road. I don't want to do it this first run through just because we're making some big changes as it is.
Okay.
But just off the top of your head, what is your ZVT build order?
My ZVT is now I'm revealing to you my strategy. Obviously, it doesn't matter though. But it's
I already know it. I actually just want to know how well you know it. Basically.
Okay, it's 14 hatch, 15 pool, generally 16 extractor.
Okay.
And then from there, it's kind of like no holds barred. Sometimes I go for sort of Zergling, Baneling. Other times I go Roaches and Zerglings. It's basically whatever I feel like.
Okay. So that's good. The important thing there is you know it. You can say it off the top of your head.
Yeah.
And that's something that it is healthy to stick with well into diamond. One build order per matchup until diamond, I would say, is a good standard.
Okay.
Just because that allows you enough consistency that you can say, okay, based on what I saw, I know exactly what I need to do. And once you're diamond or master, then you can start branching out.
So you're not going to teach me like the one secret build order that destroys everything?
No,
Damn it.
you need the Zelnaga race to be able to pull that off, or the All Warhound race that was recently hinted at. That one's good too.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that.
I know.
I love going on like
Good catch.
I love going on the Zerg, like the Zerg BattleNet forums, because I mean, I love my fellow Zerg players, but we complain more than anybody else.
Oh yeah, we're crybabies, absolutely.
Yeah, and no, my suggestion, like some guy was complaining, like they needed to remove, a certain thing, like Widow Mines or something, and I'm like, you know what they should do? They should just make every unit Warhounds. That would solve every problem we're complaining about. It makes perfect sense to me.
Well, no, that April Fool's Day thing was perfect. The logic was flawless. There's no way for people to complain about Warhound balance. If everyone has Warhounds, it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, really? Really, Blizzard? Why didn't you think of this sooner?
Whoops.
That's all good. These things happen.
I set my overlord on a suicide run. Oh well, he gave his life for the greater good.
Well,
So it's okay.
and it wasn't a waste. What information do you know from that?
You have Marines and a barracks.
How many Marines do I have? That's important to know.
It was like 5.
Okay, yeah, four or five. That basically tells you what?
That essentially, I mean, you either going for some kind of early aggression, or you're just either, I don't know, defending your base, or I mean, it could be anything. Essentially, I feel like at this point, like,
Well, would you say I was on 2 racks with that production or 1 racks?
I saw it. Okay, well, I would probably say 2 barracks. I think I saw an extra barracks there.
Okay. Yeah, make sure you don't assume unless you clicked on it. I'll tip you in. It was actually a factory for a, well, I'll just say a transition.
Oh, I wonder what the transition could be.
The important thing to, I guess, take away from that is that when you see more than 1 or 2 Marines, you know that their Hellions are going to be a little bit delayed if they're making them at all. They might even go straight into Widow Mine.
Okay.
And that's a really good distinction to make, because that opens you up to go ahead and take a quicker third, potentially. It also allows you to gauge your Roach transition, because I know you like to go into Roach pretty quick, and you may be able to delay those a little bit in lieu of drones, and maybe even delay your gas a little bit.
Okay. So, at what time would you recommend is a good time to think about getting a third base?
You picked the hardest matchup for me to answer that question. ZVT, I would say anywhere from 5 minutes if you want to go, really, really crazy with it. You could even do 2 hatcheries before pool if you're, like Cats. Cats loves to do that, and he has quite a bit of success with it. But generally speaking, if you don't see a lot of early pressure, you can go ahead and grab it by 6 minutes fairly reliably, or vice versa, you can go straight into mutas and grab it when your mutas have popped.
Okay.
Either of those. I don't want to give you really strict timing because I want this to be kind of a broad strokes kind of lesson. Holy Zerglings. Right, this is good. We're actually going to get a lot to talk about here during the replay.
Okay. I definitely know my APM is nowhere near as good as it usually is, but that's because I'm trying to talk and be entertaining as well as play a good StarCraft game.
It is a tough balance to strike. I understand that wholeheartedly. You'll say a bunch of funny stuff and then lose the game, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy sucks," and leave the stream. And it's like, "Oh, I didn't mean that."
Watching who was the guy? It was like older stuff. It was like Destiny or something. I was watching like some of his videos, and I think honestly, I think the dude's unbearable.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this guy is such a dick.
Yeah, he's a hard. I mean, even the times I played against him, it's like, really? I expected better, Expected a little class.
No.
he's a special case for sure. He's a bit like Idra. He got his kind of fame, I think, for saying outrageous stuff.
For being a dick.
Yeah, I'm trying to be as tactful as possible, but that's a good way to put it.
Ah, well. I got my fame for naming myself after a Russian dictator, so it's...
Stalinator, I have to say, it's an amazing name. Congratulations.
Really? You think so? Thank you.
I was actually laughing when I read that. I was like, did he seriously just call himself Stalinator? So, congrats on that.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing I can respect to guys like that. They kind of march their own tunes, so there's something to be admired on that front, I feel.
Well, and I think I don't necessarily know. I'm not in their heads. If you're referring to Idra and Destiny,
yeah.
Rather than Stalin. I'm not in Stalin's head either, though. But
I am every day.
Oh well, yeah. I mean that stands to reason. You're Stalinator.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable. So the one thing that I try to kind of keep in mind is these guys are entertainers first. That's really where the money comes from StarCraft, fortunately. And so that may not be their personality. I mean, a lot of people, they talk about Idra and they say he's the nicest guy outside of the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is something where that's a persona that they know is marketable. But that's just kind of my perception. I don't necessarily know that it's necessary to entertain people like that, though. Alright, so notice this hatchery is all kinds of vulnerable, and I'm happy to see no drones here, although we'll see what we see in the replay. But when your third finishes and you've already seen Hellions, maybe even if you haven't seen Hellions, you gotta have those spines up.
Okay.
I'd say 2 is healthy, but it really just kind of depends on what you see.
Upgrade complete.
What's going on? Are you ready for this?
How do you feel you're playing thus far?
I'm feeling I'm playing mediocre, not the best in the world, but definitely it's not my worst game I'll ever. Maybe it's because you're going easy on me.
I'm playing it what I would consider to be a level that should challenge you, but won't necessarily outright kill you right away.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was an effective trade or not, but...
For you it was good. For me it was not so good.
Okay.
Kept your counts low, but yeah, roaches handle pretty well. One thing you can really improve there is don't be afraid to kite back a little bit.
Okay.
You do technically have, I believe it's a 1 range. Let me double check. You have a 2 range advantage versus versus the Battle Hellions. So that puts you in a pretty good place to go ahead and say, well, we can do a little micro and improve my unit efficiency a bit.
Okay. Honestly, I've never had a Terran go Hellbats or whatever they're called, the new units against me.
Okay.
I have not had one single Terran use it against me.
Wow. Okay, you're going to see it a ton, especially once you move up into Platinum. There's going to be guys who just get through every matchup, every game, by just making tons of Hellbats really efficiently. And that's all they do. So it will happen. Eventually they'll probably transition into like Tank Thor Widowmine, but that's only if what they're previously doing is not working.
Waiting on you.
Oh, fuck.
Now what? Will
Mineral field
ready for
upgrade complete. Additional supply.
Okay.
ready for pickup? On my way.
Oh, well, that's not good.
The emergency.
Good timing for that meter transition, though. That helps a lot with this, because you're going to be able to shut down those medevacs. The medevacs actually need to be your focus fire here.
Okay.
The medevacs now heal Hellbats. That was a change when they actually...
Do they?
Yeah.
Well,
When
that's
they
no good.
changed- when they changed the name from Battle Hellion to
Additional supply depots
Hellbat,
required.
they also added that medevacs can now heal them.
Additional supply depots required.
Okay, these units are pretty friggin'.
They are amazing, huh?
They are pretty friggin' devastating.
Mineral field depleted.
They actually do a ton of damage to buildings, so they make a great choice for Terran players to go through and just like this, just focus fire all the tech.
On my way.
Testing the diet required.
Oh fuck.
Research complete.
And this is really what their late game's often going to look like, is just trying to make your multitasking cap out, and then after that, that's all pure damage because you're unable to keep up.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
Mineral field depleted.
Oh,
Light flight
Good
here.
pullback.
why the hell am I researching Burrow?
Just in case I transition out, I may move to something else. You never know.
Additional supply depots required.
And that's going to be harsh.
Okay, well, I'm pretty much done at this point.
Yeah, that tends to end the game. Okay, so that
Yeah.
was actually a really great game for us to have for our first game. That's going to provide the template, so to speak, for all the following games we play today, because we're going to do a
Okay.
resume from replay every
Sure.
single game.
All right, so I guess we're gonna go. Well, at least I leveled up from that game, so silver lining.
Yeah. And I'm working on my Terran, so that's a good start. So before we jump into the replay, just from your perspective, what do you think you could have done better there?
One, my macro was terrible. I had like 3,000 minerals saved up at some point, which was not so good. And two, yeah, one or I got two or three, whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter what order they come in. One, I didn't do any harassment. I felt like I could have pushed at some point. Like I felt I had enough units to do some kind of aggression. And three, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just kind of like randomly building units and randomly deciding, oh, I guess this is a good time to start upgrades. And I didn't really have, like, I had my set build order, and then once that happens, it's just kind of do things whenever I feel like doing them.
Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of the impression I got from the replays, was that after, I'd say about the 5-minute mark, it started to feel like there was no structure.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, well, we're seeing this, so let's make this. I don't know if it's a counter, but let's make it.
Pretty much.
So that's what we're going to try and do, and that's why you're working with such a small unit pool, because you're going to be able to start to understand the basics, such as Roach Hydra performs really well versus Battle Hellions, or versus Hellbats. If I mistakenly call them Battle Hellions, it's because I think Hellbats is a stupid name.
It is a stupid name.
So that's something that you can take from that, because that initial aggression at your third, you held really cost effectively. And it wasn't until the drops came into play and I started really pushing your multitasking to its limit that things started to go south. So there's two things you can take from that. Number one, the Roaches perform really well versus Hellbats. Number two, you probably want to bump up that Mutalisk timing a little bit so that you're not vulnerable to the drops that are soon to follow.
Okay.
Okay? And that's not always guaranteed. Maybe they'll open with drops, but as a rule of thumb, if you see Hellions, you're probably going to first off want to put an Overlord through their base, but 99.9% of the time they're going to start incorporating medevacs because they heal those Hellbats.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So they okay, so they don't heal Hellions, but they heal Hellbats?
That's correct.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, what Blizzard, I think what they were going for, and the reason for the name change, is because the Firebat was a really cool unit. So now they're finding a way to incorporate the Firebat without actually adding it as a unit, so the Hellion effectively turns into a Firebat. I mean, the numbers for the Hellbat are really, really on par with with the fire bat, and right down to the range and the way they attack in a cone shape. That's all fire bat.
Okay, that still doesn't make any sense because aren't they mechanical units?
Oh no,
Like they
I
don't
know.
they don't become biological when they transform. It's
From a design perspective, I'm saying I can see their logic. I think it's really wonky, but yeah, it's like you're healing the pilot inside apparently, and every attack is somehow getting through all that armor.
okay, yeah.
By that logic, we should see Thors, siege tanks, widow mines. All well, maybe not widow mines. They don't have a pilot inside of them, but who
That's
knows? Anything with a biological component can now be healed by Medivacs. It's a good balance choice.
That would be terrifying, actually. Really bad.
Turns out Colossus have this one little strand of DNA inside of them, so they can be healed by Medivacs in team play.
I like how also I actually technically won that game because you left before I did.
Well, now you can say you beat me. It's all good.
There we go.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to advance this replay to the point that I feel you lost.
Okay.
Because we can really decide when you lost actually a lot earlier than maybe you would realize. So we're going to
Sure.
just gradually improve your game, literally from a time perspective. And when
What do you mean from like a time, like timing in the game or timing in reality? Or,
Okay, great. You're going all Doctor Who on me. So
Okay.
actual time in the game. So we're going to be able to say, okay, from this point on, you lost the game, and then the next replay is going to be based on that. So then we're going to be able to say, okay, from 7 minutes on, you lost the game, and then from 8 minutes on, you lost the game, and the final product is going to be a replay that you can then use as a template for all your ladder matches.
okay.
You're going to be able to look and compare against the replay and say, I could have done this and that better. Okay, so that was a 17 extractor.
Yes.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, let's actually... I just want to make sure it's not the 16, because that was the first thing I had in mind that I wanted to change. So I'm going to bounce back once. 21 supply. Okay, never mind. Yeah, actually, the hatchery, or the pool feels late, because that should have been a 17 extractor. So we're going to maybe even start this replay from the start of the build. I think this may have been a case where talking took over.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Or maybe, no, I think I started at 16, but I'm building drones, so it looks like it started at like 17.
If your spending's really tight, the build you're going for should start the... Okay, so the pool is at 16. Okay, so let's... First things first, you're super vulnerable to Reapers with that pool timing.
Okay.
So we're going to bump that up to a 15 pool. So the final build now is 14 hatchery, 15 pool.
Okay.
So actually, we're going to start from that point. But then I'm trying not to change your build too much because I still want this to be your build. But
Oh, you can change my... I don't care. It's not like I have some kind of emotional attachment to my build.
Well, I just don't want to turn you into me, if that makes sense. I want you to develop your own
But
play
I
style.
want to be you.
Okay, that's creepy. But I do want this to be something where I help you develop your own play style rather than just telling you how to play like I would play. So we're going to wait until 15. Wow, you are at 16 for a long time. The back button aggravates me. It should be like 20 seconds rather than 10. Okay, so here we are. You're at 245 minerals, and the hatch is about to go down. This is as good as any. Just go up a little further. Replay management -5 for me. Okay, so now you're saving up for that hatchery. That's as good a time as any. Okay, so your build now is 14 hatchery, 15 pool, 17 extractor. Make sense?
Okay. Yep, no, that makes perfect sense.
Alright.
Oh, wait. Oh, now we're playing.
We
Holy
are
crap.
playing, yeah.
Okay.
Is that cool or what? I love that they added that.
Yeah, that is pretty nifty. So, 15 pool, 17. I thought we were actually going to watch the replay.
We will only watch the replay to the point that we need to make changes, and then we're going to continue from there. Because I want to get the fundamentals down first, and right now the fundamental is the build order itself, because that sets the pace for everything else.
Yeah, it's pretty fundamental.
Were you able to hit that timing, or do we need to start again? Sorry.
No,
cut you
I got
off
it.
there.
I got the timing.
Okay. And I may not do what I did last game. I'm just going to try and kind of expose you to a wide variety of things that you'll see in Platinum and Diamond.
Sounds good.
But the units
So-
you have to work with will be able to handle anything we'll throw at you, so that'll be good. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to ask you. I got a philosophical question for you.
Okay.
Do you think that a Zergling? I like to ask this question to everyone. Do you think a Zergling understands that it's a Zergling? Like, do you think it knows that it like exists in this world as a Zergling? Like,
Oh,
do you think it's like sentient? Because we know that like the Protoss and obviously the humans know that they're humans, right? But does the Zergling know it's a Zergling, or is it overwritten by the hive mind, and the hive mind is the only thing that it understands, and it doesn't have any like conscious free will or free thought?
well, I think the undertone from Heart of the Swarm says yes. Post
That the,
Kerrigan getting her little no longer a slave to the Zelnaga thing. Sorry for spoilers. Crap, I just did that. I'm so
well,
sorry.
I'm assuming most people have watched my Let's Play. Oh, I did
Okay.
the same shit with the Overlord again. Run, run. Okay, he's dead.
We won't use that as a point that we continue the replay. I think that's easy enough for you to fix.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I'm like getting all philosophical and not remembering what I wanted to do with my build order. So,
That was my plan, actually.
yeah, you're gonna distract me so that I forgot my orbital for 2 minutes straight. So, but back in the StarCraft 1 days where Overmind controlled everything, I would say no.
Okay.
But at least post Kerrigan, probably, definitely post Heart of the Swarm, yes. Anyone who wants to debate that with me, it'll be the nerdiest conversation
It
ever.
will be. Oh crap! I just realized I distracted myself with my own question. I forgot to build my extractor.
Oh, this is excellent.
So now I'm done. Well, I mean, I'm not done, but
Yeah, these Marines are going to get to have a party. 3 Marines, how much can they do? The answer's a lot, actually.
eh?
Well, actually, the new 5-range Queen is pretty good against them.
I don't think we're gonna be able to do a whole lot.
I got 4 drones. Come on, 4 drones. Yeah, 4 drones.
Oh shit! I didn't even know you were killing the drones.
Yeah.
Thought you were still trying to attack the queen.
Nah. Yeah, 3 Marines for 4 drones, not a bad trade this early in the game. Zerg drones are more important than Terran SCVs early on, since they set the pace for that kind of compounding macro that Zerg has.
Upgrade complete.
Now here's the real question: do you think locusts are sentient?
Hmm. Probably. I mean, I'd assume not. Well, no, I don't think they are at all, because they're just kind of like an extension of the swarm host itself.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right. I just can't imagine them having too much going for them.
Insufficient testing gas. Not enough minerals.
Poor bastards.
Probably the most they're even capable of saying in Zerg is like, "Okay, we'll go kill them," then they're done. So.
Yeah, I remember long ago I watched it was like a dumb flash animation, and like the whole gag was that the Zerg are actually like really high minded, and like when they're talking to themselves they like talk with like English accents, and then like oh we just want to make friends with everybody, but nobody seems to like us type of deal.
They just no one else can understand them, so they think they're monsters.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. That's a good concept. Really high level.
Yeah.
Additional supply depots.
That's the stuff tragedies are made of.
Yeah, exactly.
This huge misunderstanding that results in this massive war. Sounds exactly like something Shakespeare would do.
There we go. Actually, in the end, Blizzard story writing is on par with Shakespeare. Is what
Well,
you just told me.
I can't help but make the comparison. They are pretty brilliant.
Really?
I honestly do like their stories. I thought, obviously Brood War and StarCraft 1 were a lot better, but still pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I didn't like the story for Heart of the Swarm at all.
Oh, really? Wow.
It did. I mean, I don't know.
I thought it was pretty good, honestly. I mean, it was a little cliche, but I guess now that I think about it, I'm a sucker for amazing CGI, so
Yeah. Well, there's
disregard.
it looked good. I mean, there's no question about that. But whether or not it was good in reality,
Okay, I completely get what you're saying. I think the CGI, there were so many oh my god moments when I was watching it, and now that I think about it, they were all CGI.
Additional
yeah.
supply depots.
Well, there's that. What I mean, I think we can talk about especially on here we can talk about the let's play or the campaign because I let's played it.
Okay, everyone
And
who's watching
most people should probably, if they're watching this, they should probably.
Yeah, everyone who's watching, turn this off if you don't want spoilers. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. Get away. I can so still get some Zergos. Make this cost effective. These Hellions
But yeah.
are amazing.
But there's that like one scene like where she fights Amon and she like comes in and she's like riding a freaking tentacle and it like attacks her and there's like energy bursts and everything. I'm like, that was awesome. That had everything.
That was straight
But
out of an anime.
Exactly, that's what I thought. It's like Dragon Ball Z or something.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ride tentacles. No big deal. All the cool kids are doing it. So far, does this feel like a better game or worse game for you?
I got my extractor timing way off, so
Okay.
kind of worse.
And I've noticed your third is a lot later.
Yeah.
I would love to be doing damage to your third right now, but I'm not getting that opportunity, so.
What do you mean you're not getting it? You're not getting an opportunity because you're nice, or?
Because there's no third to kill.
Oh, okay.
That makes it very difficult to kill your third.
I guess that makes sense. You can't kill what's not there.
Exactly.
No! My beautiful creep tumor. What the hell? I'm pretty sure I saw those widow mines without a detector.
You will see them when they're firing.
Insufficient best being
Okay, well they weren't firing.
sufficient.
I should say when they're about to fire. It's a trigger that they added. Basically, you're going to see like maybe half a second before they'll actually fire, giving you a chance to pull back. So
Oh,
you get a little bit of a window to respond.
cool.
Yeah, Blizzard at least gave us some love in the Widow Mine department.
Ready for dust off.
Oh, that's what's going on. Those poor drones.
Talk to me. Waiting on you.
Oh, well. Ah. Well, I got one base. It's ridiculously oversaturated. Crap.
Mineral field.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's much more I can do at this point. I think I'm
Yeah,
pretty...
that feels like game. Okay. So, before we start the replay, what happened there? Because that actually felt like, in this case, even though your build was a little tighter, the game actually didn't play out as well for you.
Yeah, well, actually, my build was less tighter because, like I said, I got that extractor really late because I was rambling on about circling agency. Um, but yeah, that went. That definitely didn't go as well for me because, yeah, one, my build was grotesquely off, completely off, and two, I was just not prepared for anything. Again, my macro was terrible. I had a crap ton of resources saved up, and I got that third like way late, and then the drops came in and killed me.
Okay, so well, what we'll do, I think, is probably shut down the dialogue a little bit. I mean, I guess it's up to you, but from an improvement perspective, we just want to see you playing as close to what you'll be playing on ladder as possible.
Okay.
So unless you plan on live casting your ladder matches, we probably don't want to chat quite as much, just because I think that was a case where it was really kind of transparent that you were distracted. I mean, I was distracted too, but I think I transitioned out of the distraction a little better.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the point we resumed playing,
Game resumed.
Yeah.
and you're going to see like that spammed on your replay when you watch it. It'll be cool. You'll see resumed playing 5 or 6 times. Alright, tool timing was good. Extractor timing's a little late, so that's actually,
Like
wow, that's,
way late.
yeah,
I didn't get it till like 20 something.
okay. So you weren't kidding.
Game resumed.
Yeah.
Game paused.
I always get this like feeling. It's like, oh no, I'm forgetting something. What is it that I'm forgetting?
Well,
Oh, one of the most important things in the game. Oh, okay.
I'm thinking we might even want to make this your build for all matchups for a bit.
What the 14 hatch, 15 pool, 17 extractor?
Yeah, how often are you cannon rushed and 6 pooled in ZVP and ZVZ?
I was cannon rushed a couple times, but I generally do okay with cannon rushes. I'm not too worried about them. They're kind of old, and I don't think very effective, so I don't think most people do them usually.
Okay.
During versus Protoss is what I do is I like to do early roach push very quickly. It's like at like 5 or between 5 and 7 minutes. Roll in there with like 6 to 8 roaches, and especially if they go like was it the Fast Forge expand? They generally have nothing to stop it, and they kind of fold. So that's been really effective for me is early roach pressure. And other than that, like I definitely say ZVP is my strongest matchup. I feel like
Okay.
I do pretty good against Protoss. Terran is my worst. There's no question about it. I think I'm way below a 50% win rate with Terran, and yeah, ZVZ is just a big question mark. It's always, I feel like that matchup's just always a gamble. Just, you
Okay.
never know.
So ZVP, you can keep your current build order, but let's make this your ZVZ and ZVT build order. I think it's viable in both.
Okay.
The reason for that is because I want this to be something that sticks. I want this to be something that a month from now you can say, without even thinking, these timings just happen for the first 8 minutes of the game. Every Overlord, there's no supply block, you don't miss a gas, everything happens crisp.
Okay.
Because by that point, you're going to have 8 to 10 different build orders. So you're going to need a go-to.
I need the sort of proverbial one build order to rule them all type of deal.
Yeah. And this is going to be the one that when things go really crazy, you can fall back on it. Maybe you got hit by a rush, and you just say, you know what, I need something where I know every timing I'm supposed to hit from this point onward. This is what you can fall back on.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Oh, we're okay. Yes.
Yep, we're just going to jump in from a little bit further each time. My hope is we're going to extend this time a little further this game, but
Yeah. Let's hope so.
We'll take it as slow as we have to. All right, are you ready?
Okay. Yep.
All right, so that gas should be the first thing you make, and then from there,
Yes.
whatever you feel like.
All right. Well, I want to make Warhounds, but
Unfortunately, it's no longer April 1st. You're going to have to wait a year, potentially.
or
Unless they decide to
forever.
release the Warhound race, which I really... It's got to happen,
Exactly.
at least in custom games.
Not enough wings.
All right. I think one of my problems is I don't know when to sort of stop droning and transition into units, and vice versa when I need to drone more rather than build more units.
And that's what we're going to talk about once we get to that stage. I just don't want it to be something where we're talking about conditions that shouldn't be occurring because your timings are hit.
Okay.
So that's the one thing, is we're just trying to right now just make sure that we get those timings, and then after that we'll deal with the conditional stuff that comes up later.
Sounds like a plan.
Because there definitely is a lot of let's make mass zerglings when I should be making mass drones going on later on in your gameplay.
Okay.
I think I'm going to probably go at maybe 2:15 or so my time, so here in another 15 minutes. But what we can do
Okay.
is, since you're going to go with a little more aggressive thing, we can even go tomorrow again if you'd like. Whatever works for you.
Yeah, if we can do it a little bit later tomorrow, because I'm gonna party it up pretty hard tonight.
Sure.
So if we could do it like when
Well, we'll
would be
talk
good
when
for
we're
you.
done, yeah.
Okay,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll look at
Yeah,
what I've got.
let's not talk about each other's schedules while recording. That seems like a bad idea.
Well, from 1 to 3, I'll be at the Walmart in Uniontown. If anyone would
Like
like
it.
to come hang out.
Yeah.
Complete.
What's going on? SCV ready.
So I'm hoping that these sessions will not only help me with StarCraft, but they'll help me with some other RTSs, because Company of Heroes 2 is coming out pretty quick,
Yeah.
and I had the opportunity to be in the beta, and it's really good.
Is it? Awesome.
But I really suck at it too. So I'm hoping that if I can get at least some APM fundamentals, that'll help me not only with StarCraft, but it'll help me with Company of Heroes as well.
Yeah, StarCraft's transferable to every RTS ever made, I would say.
Yeah.
You won't find an RTS to date that taxes you more than StarCraft.
Yeah.
How's that hockeying been working out for you?
And also good.
Not so good. Okay. Have you been
But
missing a lot?
I'll get used to it, because it was what I used to do, so it's like riding a bike or whatever lame line they used to run the campaign.
Well, by way of not having F2 available, it's going to kind of force you to get used to it. So that's the nice thing, is I wanted that to be something where you just had to adjust to no matter what.
Okay. So here, let me hotkey my army right now. There we go. Here we go. Well. Oh, feeling better about this game.
You are?
Yeah,
Excellent.
already. So.
Very good.
I wish they had an overload rally point. That'd be nice.
Overlord, I've been begging for it, but we just, it's necessary.
And a queen rally point, and
Specifically, a Queen Rally Point, I think, is the one that I would love. Zoom, zoom, zoom! They cheat.
that is I disagree with the.
Certainly
Back
made
back.
games more interesting, I'll say that much. It's a pretty good hold. The one thing that I'm not too worried about now, but later on it's going to become really important, is just having a bit of an overlord spread so that you spot that before it arrives rather than after.
Okay.
But the
Yeah, I kind of have
response,
all my overlords chilling out in like one place right now.
yeah, not too worried about it for now, but it's going to become super important by Diamond.
Okay.
Add-on.
The response was pretty quick, so that was good.
Add-on complete.
Ready for duck
Fucking god damn it.
Wait, talk.
And there we go. Another thing I need to work on is definitely keep creep spread. But these things are things that come with time, I guess.
Yeah. Creep spread right now, I'd say, is definitely a lower priority
Yeah.
than most anything. Later on, it's imperative, but right now it won't do much for you.
Additional
Oh, I know
supply
what I should be doing.
Not enough energy. Additional supply depots required.
Okay, well. I
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
Oh crap. I'm just getting.
Terran's a scary unit, huh?
Yeah, but well, the Terrans aren't a unit; they're a race.
Oh no, it's kind of an ongoing meme. Like, when you think something's OP, you'll be like, Protoss is a good unit.
Oh, okay,
You'll see it a lot in replays. It's pretty fun.
okay. I think I'm done
Yeah.
again.
Okay, so I actually did like that one better because honestly, what I did that game probably would easily be classified as diamond level play.
Okay,
So I did actually like that game better. The one thing is the third saturation, I think, just from what I saw from my point of view, could be a lot sooner. So now we're getting to that point where we can start looking at your drone timing.
okay.
Alright, so we'll watch this replay, and I don't think we're going to actually play from this one, but I want to watch this one to completion so that we can see kind of the larger scale stuff you can work on between now and
Alright.
tomorrow.
Sounds good. Well, I don't know if I'll have time between now and tomorrow, but I will.
Well, yeah, I'm guessing your retention probably won't be too good while you're completely drunk on beer, so...
Yeah. I don't know. I actually have never tried to play StarCraft while drunk.
It is
That would be
surprisingly fun, but you don't get much accomplished.
Well, I would assume not. You don't get much accomplished regardless of what you're trying to do when you're intoxicated. But no, I assume it would be fine. It would help, alleviate performance anxiety. So
Oh, yeah. The, resume from replay. Are you getting any lag when I go to 8 speed, or are you good to
no,
go? Okay.
no, I'm totally fine.
Okay, yeah, some people's computers, they can't keep up, and then it ends up making us off sync for a while.
No, I spent a lot of money on my computer. I think my computer costs more than my car. So
Oh, wow, yeah, your computer's probably, from what I saw in your YouTube videos, it's probably better than mine.
I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty proud of my computer. Yeah.
I can't say I blame you. Okay, so far it's looking clean.
Okay.
Now you're getting up to 400, 300 minutes. Okay, yep, you cleaned it up pretty quick. So I would say we haven't yet hit the point that I would resume from replay.
Okay.
Few little,
So is there?
go ahead, I'm
Is there?
sorry.
Is there any kind of build that is good to put early pressure on Terrans? Because I can't think of anyone
Closed.
that is like that you can. There's like a specific build that'll help put early aggression on a Terran player.
I actually am in the process of developing a burrow roach timing, a hatch tech burrow roach timing.
Yeah.
That I used it 3 games on Thursday, all versus master opponents, and it went 3-0 for me.
Nice.
Actually, I'm 5-0 total from some of the changes I made that day. But the thing about it is you actually hit 12 to 16 burrow roaches and then double expand and drone behind the pressure. And the
Hmm.
timing it hits. Like, I had one game that I'm actually going to do a cast of where he had 6 Widow Mines waiting, and I still pulled way ahead on economy, even though he effectively hard countered the timing attack. Just because you're double expanding. So you're going from 2 base to 4 base while applying pressure that more often than not shuts down their mining at their natural. The end result being you have 4 well-saturated bases versus 1 to 2 well-saturated Terran bases. So I would say
Interesting.
right now that's probably the best I've seen. You can still certainly go roachling all in, but you're coin flipping.
Yeah.
So I try not to recommend that kind of thing.
All right. Sounds good. I'll check that out whenever it goes up.
Yeah, right now it's kind of just this conceptual thing in my brain that I have no timings for yet, so I can't actually put it into a build order to share with anyone yet. So, okay, so from the point we would actually resume from replay is going to be here. If we look at what occurred here, first off, we look from your perspective, and the map vision hasn't really occurred much.
Yeah.
So you actually haven't confirmed my natural.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I can see with that overload.
Yeah. We would know that you would confirm my natural if this. I guess you can't see on mine. Man, this may even be a time when it would help to look at my stream because I can do a little John Madden here. I guess you Canadians probably don't watch much American football, but
I don't know what this is. Is it like soccer or anything? What's the deal here?
Yeah, John Madden. He
No,
was
I know who
hilarious
John Madden
back in
is.
the day.
Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. So basically, we would know that you had checked the expansion timing if we saw the darker portion of the Fog of War, if that was a little higher up, because it does actually make the difference on the mini map based on where you've scouted.
Okay.
So we know you haven't checked to see if his minerals are glowing, so you haven't gotten close enough to check for a natural. So that's the big thing I would improve first off. But then based on that, let's look at the production tab. At this time frame, you're making 18 Zerglings, and that's with 0 information.
Okay.
If you had instead seen that your opponent was still on 1 base, and you had gone up the ramp, and you had maybe seen like 3 or 4 barracks hugging the ramp, which at the MMR you're currently at is going to be more often than not when they're going all in, then this would have been a great choice, along with a couple spines, because that's indicative of some sort of 1 base cheese. But instead, you would have seen a low ground command center, which means these should have been 8 drones.
Okay.
Completely in favor of the metabolic boost, that's fine, but the current 6 Zerglings will maintain map control and will spot any Widow Mines or Hellions moving out, which is then going to be your cue to make some Zerglings or Roaches, depending on what you see.
I see.
So
Well, I don't. I guess I'd build them preemptively, thinking that there might be some sort of pressure at some point in time, so they're there if I need them.
And that's the first kind of overarching rule we can start to kind of give for you, is that as a Zerg player, you never want to say the words, I build units preemptively.
I see.
That's something Protoss and Terran can say because they need those units preemptively. But especially when we're talking about Zerglings, which I'm terrible with numbers, but I believe it's like 16 seconds for their build time, 16 or 20. It's in that range. That means by the time they go from their natural to your
24
natural,
seconds.
Ah, man. Oh, there we go. Yep, 24 seconds. Okay. So in game time, that's 24 seconds. That means by the time they've left their natural and reached your natural with anything but Hellions, you've probably gotten 1.5 to 2 spawns of Zerglings out, if we're talking a spawn cycle in terms of, larva injections. So, pretty good. I mean, the reactionary construction time on Zerglings is phenomenal, and you will have gotten easily 6 roaches out with the stage of the game you're at right now, if you wanted those instead. So what that means is, at this stage of the game, you can just drone. You see something moving out. Okay, let's make some units that counter that, but only just enough. If you see 2 to 4 Hellions, then you make 3 to 4 roaches. If you see 8 Hellions, then go ahead and make 8 roaches. But the moment you know you've dealt with whatever threat is coming, immediately back to drones.
Okay.
Because your standard, until you're at 60 to 70 drones at minimum, is going to be making drones by default unless scouting has told you otherwise. So also what I'd like to see different here is, for now you can hold off on that second extractor. Well, I guess I should first ask, were you deliberately going 2 base muta here?
Yes, that was my plan.
Okay, so then this second extractor is perfectly timed. If you're going 2 base meter, that's great. I would just like to see a spine at the natural because that's going to open up that drone window a little more.
Okay.
That's going to also mean that if Hellions are coming, you can SimCity a little bit. So that Roach Warren can be down at your natural. And I guess for anyone watching, SimCity is a term to reference building your buildings tight enough that they wall off and building them reactively. So, you might see 20 Hellions go out and you'll say, holy crap, he's doing some sort of really weird mass Hellion all-in where he just runs by and cleans out all my drones. A SimCity would be you make like 4 evolution chambers to wall off this portion of your natural, or I should say where your Zergling's at effectively if you're not watching the stream. And then they can't get in, the spine does the damage, they have to turn around, and you're continuing to drone behind that for what was a 1-base all-in. So I'm talking about a lot of stuff here because this is the stuff that if some of it sticks, great. If some of it doesn't, that's fine. The stuff that really needs to stick is going to be getting comfortable with those control groups again, making sure you hit the first 4 to 5 minutes of your build nice and crisp,
All right.
and making sure that in a kind of high-level sense, just kind of a back-of-the-mind kind of deal, you prioritize drones over units, and you make sure you're never saying, I make units preemptively.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's the first lesson
Yep.
for today.
I don't
Never make units
preemptively.
preemptively. That's the number one quote here.
Yeah. I mean, if there was scouting information behind it, I would say something different. If you were able to say, he is staying on 1 base, therefore I make units preemptively. That's a statement that I can get behind.
I see.
But anytime you can say, I'm making units preemptively because it feels like a cool thing to do, probably
It felt
not
like the
good
right
logic.
thing to do. It's like my gut.
Yeah.
You should
My-
make Zerglings.
Yeah, I just, something said Zerglings rather than
Exactly.
drones.
Yeah, it was like a divine inspiration type of thing.
Yeah, last night I saw a Zergling in my tortilla, and it said Zerglings today. Okay, so we'll call it for today. We'll just do a quick kind of look through the rest of the replay just to kind of see where we're at.
Oh yeah.
But this replay is going to then be where we pick up from tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I would like to get through this start to finish with what you can then say is a very clean, very crisp game. And from that point forward, you can say, I played that game. That is something I'm capable of reproducing.
I understand.
So yeah, this preemptive, now you're up to what I would consider, off the top of my head, maybe 15 drones that could have been produced rather than all these units.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm behind you in Harvesters, which is not good
No.
as a Zerg player,
Yeah, not good
I
when
assume.
mules are considered, yeah.
especially because you have mules and etc.
Yeah, those fancy things that are worth like 4 SCVs each.
Yeah.
Alright.
I like my Overlord colony.
The placement is, well, you're going to spot all drops coming through the top right portion of your main.
through one way.
Yeah, you are well covered for 10% of your base. That is good.
Awesome.
The mid, actually, this is great. That's something you can reproduce every game if you want.
What, put those 2 drones, or not drones, the Overlords in the mid there?
Oh yeah, that's giving you so much information.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Even if they get shot down, I mean, 2 Overlords for the information they're going to provide. They're also going to stall whatever push I have in mind as I'm killing those Overlords. So, in that sense, you're looking great there. Now, 3,000 minerals up top.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's good. If you're shooting for just cashing those in for next game, you can come in.
Yeah,
and start the
exactly.
game
I
with
was
3,300
hoping
minerals.
that those minerals carried over from game to game.
You would definitely win the next game. There is no doubt that you could go ahead and go 10 expansions before pool. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So yeah, I actually do like where we're going so far, just because I think this kind of brought to light some things that I actually didn't notice when I was first watching the games, just because I just had 2 ZVTs. So that's good. So tomorrow we'll just pick up where we left off. I'd say we'll probably pick up around 6 minutes when those Zerglings started to come out, and we'll see where we
Okay.
go from there.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right.
So we're gonna wrap this up. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and give me your feedback on because this is an evolving segment. So give me your feedback about what you want to see, what you liked, what you didn't like, and hopefully we can turn this into something again like our StarCraft game. Hopefully we can turn these little videos into something that's really clean and really polished and really entertaining and informative for you guys. So this has been Joseph East Runner of Stalin signing off for now, and I'll see you guys next time. And if you want to say anything before I stop recording, now's your chance.
Anyone watching from my YouTube, I'm not as nice as Stalinator. If you guys have any feedback, feel free to tell me, and I'll tell you you're stupid. Okay, we're good.
Okay. All right. You guys take care.
All right, have